So we are live now, and what we're gonna do, so we are gonna get into it, Amanda.
Okay.
All right. So welcome, listeners. Once again, New Zealand World News is bringing you the positive news, but for these positive speakers, I would say, and speakers who are really real human, real talk. Once again, I'm bringing you today. We have got a very, very special guest who is not, I don't know how to describe it, but I can describe you in one line, is beauty with brains. And she is the Miss Universe Malaysia of 2022. So I'm going to have a good conversation today with her, a real talk, a real conversation, a real human who is going to uncovering from her what are the positives outcomes, where she is today, where she was before, how she came this far, and what is the journey of a human that you could make out of it, no matter what situation you are in. Today, she holds the esteemed title of Mrs. Universe Malaysia 2022. Is that right, Amanda?
That's right.
So welcome, Amanda, to this show of us, where we try to bring speakers who talk their real mind and their from the real heart, but also who have lived a journey to from their own independent way of perspectives and how positively they have lived their journey, and what listeners could listen and from here is there is nothing called impossible. When I look at Amanda, there is nothing called impossible, but also when you talk to her and when you see her humbleness, her humility, she is not just a title holder. She doesn't believe that title holder gives you, but it's the personality, it's the treatment of the people, and it's the way she has treated her own life and how she has come to this far. We are going to talk all about this. But just now, I'm going to just welcome Amanda for this lovely giving her time straight from Malaysia. And here I am in New Zealand trying to talk to her with some beautiful journey that she has been living. So welcome, Amanda, for this lovely show that we have organized for you today. I would really like to know a little bit about you. Like, tell us something other than Miss Malaysia, other than taking part in this public event, which is not just a public one, but you are a role model. And I think modeling is something that I look at in a different angle. Model is something for the aspiring models, that how they live their journey. It is not glamorous. It is the real journey that we are going to talk to you. So tell us something about you other than, yes, why I said beauty and brains, because she is like a money person or a finance person, or you can call it uh, people who are dealing with money, and money is also one of the important ingredients of our day-to-day life. So we are going to uncover more of that, but let's hear from her what exactly she does other than what she has participated, and she has won this beautiful, amazing title for 2022. And I am having this pleasure to talk to her. So over to you, Amanda. Tell us something about yourself.
Thank you so much, Shailesh. Actually, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for your invite for the talk. Deeply humbled that I don't call myself a role model, seriously. I just think that it's more like a sharing that I would like to share with I mean a lot of women, or with a lot of younger people out there, you know, from what I've been experienced, that what I've been doing. I just hope that my sharing or whatsoever that able to resonate or relate to some of yours, and then you know, we just find it somehow that the connection is there. So basically, I'm the title holder, reigning queen of Mrs. Malaysia Universe 2022. So I just got my title in July. So still learning a lot. Along the way, I would say that, of course, this is a very common questions that many will ask. What is that the reason behind that I would like to participate? And what is there motivate me to actually participate? So if you ask me, I think there is two very important person in my life, which is my mother, that I look up to her a lot. It's actually a person with a lot of value and wisdom. So which another person who really motivates me I think a lot of people couldn't believe. It's my daughter. I have a
Oh, wow.
beautiful 4-year-old daughter, Eva. Yes.
Excellent.
So I'm actually trying my best, still wanted to be a role model of her. So, which is, I would say that being a princess or queen is will be every girl or every woman's wishes. So, sometimes, however, life it's do not design the way that you want it or as you wish.
Sure.
So yeah, I have actually, during my younger age, looking at a lot of beauty queens, a lot of very successful young lady, but I do not have that confidence to think myself that I could be the one.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back a little bit and want to once again touch my situation of when you started this journey. You have come this far. What is Amanda's journey? Why? How she started? What really triggered? But who is she first? When you were little, when you were in what environment you were in, and how you really, and what's your real background at this moment other than this public image? What is the other thing that you do on a regular basis that I want to uncover your beauty as well, but also brains behind it, and how you change your mindsets to come to this far? So who were you before?
Yeah, I'm actually it's just any other girl next door, I would say. I actually come from a very average family, from a very normal family. My dad is a small-time businessman. My mom is actually a housewife. So we have a very small family. Then, I'm the eldest in the family. We come with a younger brother and sister. So it's a very warm and small, typical family if coming in Asia. So this is where I come from. So where I first started, of course, just now I just touched on that I have already the dream that I wanted to be a queen or princess. So during schooling, it's already like very active, like to see a lot of this kind of things. But somehow that I do not get it that at the time. I'm sure that a lot of younger people that tend to get lost. You want to do a lot of things in your younger days. You're very ideal, but you couldn't do it. But so where I've started back then and now, it's totally not relevant because I actually took up a beauty and wellness course so that, I wanted to know more about it. So I actually just took up the course and I started to be any of, like beauty consultant, that I will start the work without any further study, because to me, I wanted to rush into being an entrepreneur at the time already. Yeah.
So were
this
you
is
always
how I started.
So from the childhood, were you always like interested to become something like a queen or a princess, but also how to achieve that things? Did you had something around you, surrounded by you? What was your circle? What was your friend circle? What was your, that triggered you? Or you were just out of the box?
I think I'm like more like a black sheep. If let's say you ask some of my schoolmates or like childhood friends, they every time look at me as I'm very boyish, a very vocal type. So I always think myself different from the rest. So I always want to do things differently. Perhaps maybe, I don't know, you call it the rebellious soul in me that wanted to do it things differently. I think I have that in me. So that's the reason why that I would say that it's given a bit more rough patch, because you're trying to find yourself during at that time. So you a lot of experimental, you try to do a lot of things, funny things, you don't follow the protocol, you don't follow whatever. So that's my childhood.
So I think to sum it up, I can say I just made beauty and brains, but now I have to add one more thing to it: is bold, beautiful, and brains. Would that be right? That you were bold enough in your childhood, bold enough to take decisions of your own something, because curiosity is nice, rebellious is nice, And when you want to aim for something, but it takes courage, it requires courage, and it needs boldness. And if you don't have a surrounding made up of like that, then you have to always find your way, how I can achieve, where I can do, what I can. For that, you need courage. So I think I'm going to add this one more word, the one more B letter, which is bold. So bold, beautiful, and brain. What do you think, Amanda? So tell us,
Oh,
does that make sense to you? I can
yeah,
sum it up like that. Hmm?
I would say that then it's actually a lot of price to pay for it, but
Exactly. Yeah.
also it
Hmm.
will be some experience that no one gonna take away from you.
Correct, correct. And I think you have proved your point that, in spite of your father being a normal business or normal working person, your mom being a very housewife person, and yet you had siblings, but out of all the things, you made that choice, you made that decision. So what I would like to highlight here to all the listeners, that you always have a choice to make your own choice. You always, at any stage of your life, it's the question of how you courageously do, which is what Amanda is all telling us about, that she was bold enough to go against the rules or norms, but on the system that she was living or on the environment she was brought up into. So moving on to that, I want to ask you, Amanda, like, what really triggered that, what point that you thought that I want to do something that is totally different, and but I want to stand out in the community, or stand out in your own family, or stand out in your own comfort zone? How did you trigger, what triggered you to really do that, go against the norms, I call it.
Oh, I just like I say earlier, right? Perhaps it's actually kind of have a bit of the element of black sheep in me, that I a bit unconventional compared to the rest.
Mm-hmm.
However, a lot of people also didn't know that when you want to do that, perhaps that's a lot of fail compared to
Yep.
success. But you
Sure.
embrace that. For me, I embrace, and I mean, put it this way, that my mom, if you ask my mom, she will be kind of a bit headache. She say, my daughter do things is unapologetic. So
Mm.
yeah,
Unapologetic. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, yeah. So but again, that I still have a baseline where I always thought of my mom, whatever I do.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
have that reference, you have that baseline, you have someone or something that so that sometimes you just want to measure yourself, how far did you go,
Mm.
what other things that you're doing.
Mm.
So she will be the baseline of whatever that I do.
Mm.
Yeah, so that would be the baseline. So again, where I wanted to do a lot, perhaps it's been not really successful, but that is the wake up point of me. It's about 10 years ago,
Mm.
okay, where I actually had my divorce the first time. So that's where my mom is actually a very wise and full of value woman. She straight away asked me, why don't you at this time you change and you go back to corporate? That's how
Mm-hmm.
she convinced
Wow.
me
Uh-huh.
to change. So
Okay.
to give
Yeah.
yourself a change to go back to corporate. And I seriously, until today, I thank her for doing that. It's
Okay.
because she
Mm.
actually made me discover another version of me.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you get what I mean?
I totally get it, and it is good to see that you do have the trusted person, which is your mom, that you trusted, but you also got the support, the moral support, the motivationals that you need. And who else better known than the mother of her child or of her daughter to understand that what is she capable of, and what her talents are or what her traits are. I think it's a beautiful, amazing resonation that your mother spotted in you, and she knew always probably, but then that trigger point was, so would you say the trigger point was, what was your mental health, or what was your emotional well-being at that point when you got divorced, and then all of a sudden you had to take this bold decision, or which was your mother's support, with mother's support, but that was just a moral, mental, emotional support that she gave, but ultimately the deeds were coming from you. the decisions and the choices and doing things was coming from you. Any person
Correct.
would have thought that, okay, I don't want to do it, I'm just too shy, or I'm just too complacent, too easy. But you came out of that and you believed, trusted, but also you took that decision. You actually made it happen. So what really that triggered you that, yes, I am also can do it? How was your feeling at that time when you were in emotional well-being situation?
Oh, I can tell you, it's like reset to zero. If you ask me,
Oh yeah,
reset to
that's a good one. Yeah, reset to zero.
it's,
Correct.
it's like reset to zero, that I, have come to a terms that I think I need to really know myself
Mm,
again. So what do I really want in life?
mm,
And whether you want to really doing something to fulfill what you really want to do at that time. So it's like, when you at younger days, you are doing well, you want to accomplish more, your
yeah.
mind may perhaps begin to run wild, I would say. And when things don't go right, especially imagine marriage is a big thing for a lady or for a girl.
Yeah.
No one wanted to take that path of accepting it's a fail,
Mm,
where to you could be a commitment of lifetime.
mm,
It's a lifetime change for me, I would say.
mm,
So at that time, where going to a different environment, I tell myself it's a reset. I need to really know myself and doing self-reflections, that
mm,
what I really want and what do I make wrong at that time.
mm.
So you start to like blaming yourself or whatever. But
Sure.
I tell myself, I do not want to have that, but I just want to really know and find myself.
Mm,
That's how,
mm.
very humble, I have to accept that at the near age of 30, I have to begin work with some of the newly graduate
Yeah.
younger people together. You have to put your ego
Yes.
down and you have to go into the corporate and you have to strike with them.
Mm,
So
mm.
that is the one that inside, I would say that because I wanted to find myself, I just don't want to give in just like that. I think that's the reason why that I like to give it a try. That's
Mm.
how I actually got into corporate in the end.
Yeah, see, the one of the things that I was fascinating for me was like when people come from middle class family and when you have got responsibility of their siblings, and when you are the eldest daughter, there is a cultural pressure that you are the bigger lady or you are the bigger one, so you got to have,
That's right.
you know. And I really want to understand from you, because this is something that most of the audiences probably they come from different backgrounds and they wouldn't understand what responsibility is for an eldest son or a daughter to for the family to be responsible for. And they wouldn't understand really, is it necessary to take care of the siblings or when your parents are there, that kind of thing. So there are
Yeah.
certain backgrounds, certain things I wanted to really highlight here. And because you come from a background of Asian background where you do have we have a cultural bindings, particularly when you are a woman or you are a girl and you are a youth, then that becomes a little bit different to what normal other families are. So because you like better for yourself and for your family, you have to look after. That was a great challenge. And then you had to also then go for the education to meet that challenges or to make that challenges happen. What was your positive that you thought that, hey, I have to do so many things. I have to look after my siblings, I have to do my studies, or I have to do earnings, and because I am the eldest, what really was going on in your mind? Many people would normally would give up and just they look after themselves, but you have got overall everything. So how did
Not
they?
really. I am really challenged, to be really honest with you. I almost gave up because I do not
Hmm,
believe the stigma as being elders or whatever.
correct.
But after that, I realized, if you ask me right now,
Hmm,
embrace it, embrace the responsibility, embrace that it given you
hmm,
a different path, and it craft you who you are. I don't even use the word create, it's craft.
it's
It's
craft.
like a craft work, it's
Yeah.
like it crafted who you are. So I believe that a lot of
Hmm,
things is they somehow they got connected and they're interrelated.
Yeah.
So I actually, once I want to like run away from it, I do not believe it. That's why I call it myself a black sheep. But right now,
Wow.
I still run. Being the elder sisters or being a mom is, you can call it very unconventional, but they find me working. It's actually, you know, I do know that what I'm doing for them, you know, I still like take care of them, but just that the role that I'm running and playing is very different. And in the end, like a lot of like Asian family, especially, you know, you should go into education first, then you can find a good job or whatever. I'm the other way around. I have some of my fair share of working experience. So I learned in the servicing industry. After that, I go back to study. So when I got my study, in terms that I treasure and I appreciate the knowledge that I gained until today, because I find it's really relevant to me. So which is the reason why, if you ask me right now, I am truly embraced. And I think somehow we have to change a certain angle to look at things, whether, like you say, we look at things as half glass full or half glass empty. So I would think that this is benefited to me in a way.
So I think that was your positive mindset that you switched on, that whether I should look at this way or that way, but either way, I want to look at in a very more positive affirmation way that you can move ahead rather than stuck there or go backwards, right? So it's amazing that what you just now said. But tell us something, the journey that you did at that point, the challenges that you had. Obviously, you had to study and you had to also make some earnings so that you can look after the family. So what really you studied and what really is your other side of Amanda, other than you are such a beautiful person by heart and everything? What is your other side of your coin that Amanda is made up of? Like she did profession. I heard you went into the banking and finance profession. So obviously you had to study all that and you must have put some years in that to study. And obviously you made, but why did you choose your finance as your thing? What was that?
It's tough, you know. It's like, Shailesh, let me share with you, someone from just very pure, I just want to be in like the beauty and wellness industry. I'm so into it. It's more, you know, it's like very art kind of things, and went to corporate with a lot of numbers. That's really not my thing. But because of that divorce, give me some realizations that maybe I should be a bit more grounded. So I start to begin to go in somehow. You never try, you never know. I think I found myself a job that it made me grounded, that I need to do a lot of work at the same time that I get to meet a lot of people. This is something that I really enjoy because I would like to learn from others. So you ask me how I pull it through such a low point of my time. It's because I enjoy learn from the rest. And also because I have this attitude in me that I don't want to say no or give up easily. That's why by, you know, a lot of people, maybe they're working 8 hours, I will work 12 hours. So I accomplish a certain result in a short periods of time. When I started, I'm actually doing lending, you know, giving out housing loan, mortgage loan, and all these things. And I believe that somehow if you have that energy in you, if you have that things you really truly enjoy in you, someone will seize it, which is my previous boss is come and speak to me, say, Amanda, I think you really did well in what you do. And I look at it, perhaps you should explore somewhere into investment more. So that's how only I switch from actually a lending officer who giving credit or giving, you know, facilities. I ventured into wealth management, which is today what I'm doing right now in private banking, that I actually manages all the high net worth clients profile. You know, what they do is just beside of their work, the personal investment, but also because all the successful people that I believe that share some similarity where they practice philanthropy work, which is something I am truly enjoy. So that is the reason why I would say that now it's really, now looking back, I think This is one of the best decisions in my life, despite of whatever happened. Despite of whatever have happened, I would think that it giving me a very good platform, for me to elevate myself, and also to really to able to recognize that.
To recognize that, and I get
correct.
that. I will come to that in the final stages of our this journey, but just it triggered me one more point. That was it helped you when you went into finance, when you went into interacting with people, different kinds of people, and helping different kinds of people. Was that a good kind of motivation for you to go into this Mrs. Malaysia into the fashion industry? Was it?
Definitely, because in my line of work and role previously, a lot of people that don't know, and this one I want to stress that a lot of maybe whoever were you sitting at home, listen to the podcast, whoever you're trying to find a reason for you to do things, or whatever. It's simple as that in my line of work, we talk about value add.
Absolutely, yeah.
What could you value add in certain things, and to do it better, to collaborate, work as a team, and it's not just by your own. How you able to leverage on each other? Yes, how you able to actually having a team to work together to elevate the whole thing getting better. This is my practice since then.
Sure.
So when I looking back at that time, and I tell myself that I have a certain little bit of accomplishment in my corporate career. Right, I have my daughter, and I'm also a single mom. But I try to tell a lot of women, this is not end of the world, and I believe there's a lot of opportunities still.
Absolutely,
depends how you take it. So that's the reason why that I would like to get myself into pageant, despite I have no experience. I just go and try it.
No, that's a good point that you raised, because it does help. So just for the listeners, when you get into any profession, like Amanda went into a profession of finance, business, or so-called, but most importantly, she was interacting with people. And the more you get out, the more you communicate with the people, then the more you have choices to take decisions. And that's the key, I guess, for any person to come out of their comfort zone and actually go and talk to anyone, any strangers or whatever, So just from moving on from that topic, I wanted to ask you, so eventually you had become a successful banking or banker, and then you started your career in mortgage and lending and everything. And now you are very much like doing that, as you said, like the private investments and wealth management and all that. So this is your real good success story at that point. So moving out of that and then coming into the public image, what was what would positively you would have made difference? Why did you choose to go into that at that point when you were doing all these things so well? What really mattered? So you were aspiring for more and more, but rather than more and more, I would say you were changing your complete direction of your mindset. Can I say that?
Yes.
Changing the mindset, but it was a beautiful change mindset, because you earned the credit, you got the reward, you got the award. So obviously it was a good change. So that positive mindset, how did you change, and how was you so bold enough to take that jump from one profession to totally different? No relation.
No relation. You are so right. No relation at all. And but since back then, I would actually try to be someone that more all-rounder, perhaps, able to interact, to see what are the things I need to connect people. Okay, one of the things that I would say that I enjoy talking to people, and I enjoy that interactions, and I think that's very important that you're able to identify that. So because of that, I try to ask myself, so again, when things happen, one door closed, another door open, that got me back into corporate. I think it's actually found my true calling, right? It's like I need to have the base. I need to have the ability, able to, to
Mm.
able to sustain myself. Sustainability is very, very important.
Sure.
But look at that. Now, despite I'm actually a banker right now, I'm still go
Mm.
back to beauty pageant, which is something
Mm.
related with beauty as well. So after
Exactly.
all, you
Mm.
bring a different role
Mm.
and come back. So I'm actually really happy to able to do that. So that I find it that it doesn't matter that you have to be stereotyped, just be on one thing. You
Mm.
can play a different role
Mm.
and giving a different flavor. That's my thought of it.
Yeah, no, that's beautifully said, because I think different flavors, we have got so many options, so many choices, and different flavors is what you have to try. But that's the bold decision that people generally tend to get scared or fear. So you have become, I wanted to ask you this. This is something that I was very fascinated when you said, like, okay, such a responsibility, such a different, diverse decision of taking into going into a different field completely. So, you know how we, like all most of the families or people, middle class people who come from, they always live in fearful and they are not fearless. But here I am, I'm seeing Amanda going from fearful to fearless. And I really want to know how did you become so fearless? So
Wow, I
was
don't
it?
use the word fearless. I would say it's perhaps it's throughout that the more that you do, and especially I would want to share one thing. I am very blessed. I know, I get to know very good people around me,
Mm,
share very similar understanding and energy, which is perhaps before this is known. So this is very important. I would like to say that to identify the people around you that they're sharing the same positivity, they want you to grow, they
mm,
agree with you, and they support you no matter what kind of crazy idea you have. It's
mm.
very important. It
Yeah,
doesn't need to maybe have a lot.
yeah,
I
I
have like
understand.
a couple of friends which is very good. I know them for long, 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 long time. So that's where, when someone like giving you the push a little bit, and you think, hey, I think I'm actually doing it right. And like I say, if you are not sure, research, 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 read out and find. So somehow, even that is a mistake that you will make in the end, but it will still be a minor one.
Mm,
Do not afraid of that. It's all right, even you make mistake, because there's lesson, there's experience in life. That's how make you better. Perhaps I've been sharing with a lot of people, perhaps the mistake that I made is already more than anyone
of
else.
course.
That's what make me fearless, because why, this anything else that I have not done it before.
Mm,
So
mm,
it's, I have that kind of thing. And also having a good mentor, in your life, with good bosses who sharing you, then you're seeing that they create their own DNA. So you must able to identify that
mm.
what you like best, you're passionate about to do. When you do it, trust me, the it's really, perhaps it's just words, it's beyond to describe that.
Mm.
A lot of people, they're going to feel it if they really initiated to do it.
So into what will be your message, the positives that you have considered or you have uncovered yourself since you starting from middle-aged family, middle class family, but also starting from literally, as you said, zero, like going
Yeah,
back to zero because you were married, you were dependent, and then completely going back to zero once you divorce. So obviously, it's a complete reset of everything, reset of mindset, reset of changes that comes around with you, the surroundings, the environment, and that's a big challenge. And to challenge yourself, and when these challenges come, it is very always a challenge to also challenge that challenge. I always say that,
yeah,
how will you challenge your own challenge? You can challenge other challenges, but your own challenges that you have
mm,
having,
that's
how
right.
how really you come out of that is very important. So do you think that education played an important role as a positives? Do you think that your choices of friends or the people who are blessed, also played an important role in making those choices or positive decisions or positive support that you got? What would,
Very,
yeah?
very. To me, I'm a strong advocate for education because me
Right.
myself, I don't believe it at first.
Okay.
I trying to tell myself perhaps you can learn something and go into venture because I thought myself really so smart then.
Mhm.
It's actually, you really have to know yourself more. So where I decided to go back to study to really get a proper degree in business management, where I find myself really, it's actually make myself a bit more grounded that I am able to identify
Right.
a different thing. So that's where it's more
Mhm.
about coming in myself, or the things that I see. So every time I tell a lot of people,
Mhm.
doesn't matter where you come from, you can't choose where you come from, and do not blame or trying to envy others because you are not come from a wealthy or a strong family,
Mhm.
but you yourself able to get a second choice, a
Mhm.
second chance, but what you want to do, and you do your best and you just go all the way. For me, I would say that the best decision I made is education, because
Mhm.
at that time, it's actually the alternative that I made is because I am having my degree.
Mhm.
It's a very, it's a transitions very smoothly. I'm able to go into bank.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
minimum requirement is, a degree. Simple.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell a lot of people, education, you are degree holder doesn't mean that it's giving you the whole world, but it's a passport that you're able to qualify to experience a certain things in
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
be it career, be it any other thing. So there's no waste. No matter what you do, no matter what you have, as
Yeah.
long that you have that knowledge with you,
Mhm.
it will turn into a wisdom
Mhm.
that it will make you a very different person. So that's the reason why that I'm a very strong advocacy on that.
On that.
And in
Yeah.
terms of like say the people around you, the support, having a right group of people together doing things,
Mhm.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So how did you identify that? That's a real challenge as well, because in
It
today's
is.
world, what we
No, it
see
is.
today,
It,
it's very challenging. So,
it is. I can tell you, Shailesh, it is. I
mm,
mean, people come and go. Friends
yeah,
sometimes we come and go.
yeah,
You somehow that I would think that at the point of time, especially after when we are done mother or whatever, I start to reconnect with my school friend
yeah,
where we've been actually lost touch for 20 years. But
right.
somehow when we becoming mother,
Mm,
the connection or the similarity is there.
is there,
So
yeah.
so
Mm,
I'm trying to tell a lot of people sometimes it's about the chemistry and the connection. It
mm,
doesn't mean that how long time that you know each other, you must able to have that bonding, that
mm,
kind of mutual understanding, and that is very important. So when I have that and we share among each other, and we trying to do things together,
yeah,
and can you imagine that the desire that when you want to
yeah,
do things,
mm,
it's beyond, it's no longer a task, it's actually
yeah,
it's becoming something that you won't get tired and you just
yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah, it's more like having fun, but also it's more like completely compatible with our mind, body, soul, resonating completely, and we just want to do it, basically.
Correct. And that is very important. That's where that you don't feel tired, you don't feel obligated, but
Not
where
feel
you
obligated, yeah.
yeah, you find it so interesting and you wanted to do it for more.
Mm,
I think which is this part is actually very important, so that's
mm,
the reason why that I'm being sharing with a lot of people that you might have certain experience in life that you find it, you get caught or you stuck,
mm.
but as long as you tell yourself, just don't give up. Whatever things that you want to do, just share your idea. So there's so many people around you. There will be one or two of them
Mm.
that were supportive of your
Very
idea, and that is already very important.
mm.
Which that happened to me. That's where You know, my friends that push me, I would say, Amanda, you can do it. So you just go and do it.
Mm. I think that's a very good point, valid point you mentioned there, because, it's ultimately, first of all, as you said, like embrace the situation, embrace the way you are in, whatever situation you are in, embrace it, accept it, but then try to move out of it. You just do your, as you said, like gathering good people or identifying good people around you and only concentrating on the positives rather than wasting your time. But also, first of foremost, what you mentioned, I completely agree with you. 100% I am with you. And I'm also a passionate advocate of education. No matter what education you want to take it so that you have got, as you said, it's a passport. And I say it's at least your identity to something to do, something in your journey, rather than saying I haven't done anything, but saying that
That's
yes,
right.
I have done this, basically.
That's right.
And
That's right. That's
so,
right. That is so right. It's not just about a lot of people
mm,
accomplishment or winning. At least you have been experienced and you tried it before.
mm, mm,
And you know, that is really important. That is how it crafts you yourself, that being a person, that you
mm,
know why it's actually giving you so much.
mm,
So
mm,
to me, I think that is really important. That is something that no one would
mm,
able to take away from you, and you yourself would create it you.
mm.
And you know, it might sounds a little bit deep, but as long
Yeah.
as, to me, I keep telling a lot of people, just go ahead
Mm.
and trying to discover and also remain the good in you, and that is important.
So do you think, like, when you wanted to go into this pageant and enter this into pageant, what was really your main focus at that point? Was it just to win the title or just to enter the title, or what was it really? Tell me.
Okay, it's actually, like I say, I've been very curious. I've been watching all the Miss
Mm,
Universe, all the
mm,
pageant, you know,
mm.
since the early teens. I've been
Yeah,
dreaming that I'll be one of them wearing the crown, you know, that kind of
yeah.
thing. So, but at what basis at the time? I think that my intuitions for myself are rather quite strong. That I, you know, like the confidence level is not really there. You know, maybe I'm thinking there's no one to coach me. I don't know how to reach out to people at that time. Resources might be limited. Again, like I say,
Yeah.
why I stress that education, all these things is important. So after when I'm, you know, get into corporate, the more I work, you get to know people. Somehow you discover
Yeah.
yourself as well. Because when you're surrounded with a bunch of successful people, they you know sharing like similar opinion and things,
Yeah.
and that giving me a I would say giving me that base, the foundation that I think I want to do it better.
Mm,
Okay, of course, I know that if I got into it, maybe I have to aim my goal is for winning. But
mm,
winning aside, I want to let people know that in my very humble self, that, you know, perhaps I think that I experienced certain things in my life.
mm,
So I just want to, you know, hope that people listen to my voice and to
mm,
know that
mm.
you can do it as well. So, you know, you can advocate, you can actually do more things than that.
Yeah.
And also for me, I would like to help the rest, because I've been through the darkest moment of myself. I
Correct.
know that it's not easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of that, when you've been through that period of time, it's, to you, it's like forever. So I just hope that maybe perhaps with that, you know, you non-stop that you just trying to convey that, then perhaps it's actually somehow some people will find that the similarity with you resonate with you, and you know they get a better thinking of it. So that's my thought of it. That's the reason why I tell myself, if I want to do something, I want to do it right.
Mm,
So that's how I started to do research, get
mm.
my friend to coach me in my talent, to do the necessary. What should
Task.
I do to
Yeah.
prepare for the pageant? So
Correct.
yeah.
And so there was no such thing like, okay, I want to prove it to myself, or I want to prove it to my mom, or I want to prove it to someone. Was it something like that? Or it was just random that, no, I'm just going to enter and I'm going to experience and explore it. but then if I get it, I will try my hard to still win the crown. What was going on in that stage of your mind? That do you want to prove some to someone? Do you wanted to prove something to someone, or you wanted to just prove it to yourself that you can do it? What was?
Honestly, it's actually not so much of proof to the others. It's more than that is so right.
Experience.
It's actually I want to prove to myself
Mm.
because I want to see how far can I go. First thing.
Yeah.
Second thing,
Mm.
I understand that, my daughter come from a single parent family.
Mm.
I want her to look up to her
Mm.
mom, and
Mm.
I want to be an interesting mother,
Mm.
be it you call a soccer mom or whatever, that she will feel nothing less.
Mm.
This is my reason. And if I can do it, I will tell her, you can do it as well, because
Mm.
you are much better than me.
Mm.
So that is the reason why give me a strong motivations. And also I see a lot of talented ladies out there.
Yeah. Mm.
They give up their career because of family. They
Absolutely.
choose to step down
Mm.
because of the children.
Mm.
So I wanted to tell them actually, by you not able to do it alone, perhaps by a team to
Mm.
collaborate together, we could do it as well
Mm.
if we have the common goal together.
Mm.
So, I already have this bunch of friends, my pageant sister, my schoolmate. We
Mm.
all actually working on a lot of like projects together right now. So yeah, so I think it's actually very important to able to show to people that, this is more about you able to work together and
Mm.
able to elevate each other.
Mm.
So that's the reason why when you ask,
Yeah.
I think you yourself is the person that you have to answer and not
Absolutely.
other people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you and totally understand where you are coming from, because I think this is what the listeners would like to. I would like to stress here one point. What Amanda has been telling us all along this so far is how to gather positiveness in your mindset first, but how to gather educated yourself. So everything is about yourself, how to make people together with you and surround you with people that are positive, surround you with people with that support you, but also then educating yourself. So everything is about oneself, that you have to keep doing for yourself first, and automatically, so for that matter, even if you had to enter into any contest or a pageant or any other contest, but pageant is one of the challenging contests where you don't know anything about it. But then what she has done positively, she has gathered people, mentor everyone to just teach her and make her understand. And that is the beauty part of every human journey. I guess everybody who is listening needs to understand that it is easy to be done. As Amanda looks, when she talks, it seems so easy to enter into a pageant. I feel that I could enter tomorrow, but no, that's a great insights, Amanda. So what is your message to the audience at this point, that I wanted to just share your view and visions, the way one should handle themselves if they wanted to go into a bold decision like you, or take as the boldest when they are in the darkest. So you do the boldest when you are in the darkest situation. And I think this is a great kind of for me to understand. To come out of a dark, you need a light, but to do a light, you got to light yourself, right? How did
Yeah,
you
that's right. That is
did,
so true. One of my tagline is
yeah?
the star will only shine the brightest when the darkness is so dark, right?
Oh, that's right. And here I just have to quote you one in your profile that you had mentioned, which is what audiences will be interesting to hear from you. It's your quote that you said, like you said, you cannot choose the cards that you get to deal with, but you have got a choice and choose how to play the game with those cards. So the cards may not be of your choice, but the playing the game of those cards is still in your hands, how to play it. So
That's right.
this is a good quote that Amanda is very motivational, very positive. How to look at, as she said, whether you look at half glass full or half glass empty, this is how it is. It seems like to me. Great work, great analogies that you have given. But give some message to the audiences who are listening now at this point. If you have to tell them to take this boldest from the darkest to the boldest, coming from like a trauma to grief to growth kind of thing, when I say. So you were into a very darkest situation, and yet you came out of it with this boldest decision of your career by educating yourself and then entering into this contest and then actually winning it, not just entering it. But if you had not entered, you would not have won, or forget it about the winning, but you would have not even known what value you have of your own.
Yep, that's
So
right.
that's the first step you have taken. So give us some message to the audiences, to send us some message of your positives that you think the outcomes that I have understood, let the audience understand from your perspective.
Yeah, to me, I think that you can certain things that you cannot decide, especially just talking, everyone that really want a lot of things to be ideal in life.
Yeah.
But when the situations don't go along your way, what you're gonna do? Like I mentioned, you might get a bad card, you don't know how to play it, but it's this depend how you actually, look at it and manage it. So it's pretty important that you have to able to identify that. Every time, this is one thing that I learned along the way, that if you can't get positive, because seriously, positive affirmation is, you need a very strong mind and thinking. Absolutely. Very steady. I have to admit one thing, certain days I'm not as well. But one thing I tell myself, that if you can't not able to get positive, stop being negative. Stop making decisions, stop making judgment at a time. Get yourself some a moment of calmness and come back and relook into things. So this is my take of it, which is also same thing, that if any situations that you really couldn't make any decisions or you cannot decide, the outcome is already there. Just give yourself a bit of moment. Right. Then only you act accordingly. Trust me, the decision that you make will be much better than where you wanted to do it. And also in like anything in your life, everyone, they will have inner voice in them. Perhaps they think, I shouldn't do it, I might not the right person to do it, I feel shy to do it. But like I say, take a step. Not necessarily like me, I would call myself perhaps a late bloomer, that I wanted it so much, and in the end I only participate in Mrs. Malaysia Universe, because I find the platform is actually talking about new age of woman empowerment. Is something that I really like it. But if other want to do it, how you gonna prep and do it? Like again, you owe it to yourself. You only have one life yourself. If you do it now, you wait, or you never do it again, you owe it to yourself. So that's the reason why that I tell myself, I only live once, and I want to really live to the fullest and the best version of myself. And how am I going to do that? It's you really have to non-stop trying. Nothing is miracle, magic wand, and straight away being very good. I mean, like trying a lot, attempt, going through a lot of boot camp for training and practices. Trust me, that is worth it, because in the end, it's crafted you for who you are. Be it in any of other version. I'm sure that anyone will find a connection with you, and that is very important.
So I wanted to ask you one more question for the audience point of view and from my point of view. Some people who are not social, some people who are not like mixing and mingling with the humans, but they wanted to, they have dreams, they have desires to go what you have done, what you have achieved. What would be your message to them? How do you socialize? How do you become social animal that we humans are?
I would say take things at a time. Of course, some not like really, they're really bold, they're straight, want to socialize, whatever, but give it a try, take a small steps, especially now, embrace the technology we have, social media. You can
That's
share your
right.
mind, you can share your thoughts, you can actually truly find yourself. So if whoever, like they even they follow my path, they would see that it's after when I entering Mrs. Malaysia Universe, my free flow of mind and idea, that's where it's calm and it just go in so well. So these days where I want to write something, where I want to post something, I have a lot of thoughts and feeling is there. So especially if you are a bit, perhaps you're a bit more reserved, use that to share, to more like a practice, to share about the story, the thoughts of stuff that you like, and from there, somehow you would just find the similarity of people also like that, because you can't do something that everyone likes you. You have to also know one thing, that you can't expect that everyone really likes you or whatever. But somehow, if let's say you really share it or trying to do something, you will attract the similarity of people. Perhaps you will talk less, doesn't mean that you don't have opinion. You do have as well. This is how you share it, or in any form of way. So that's why I think that that is kind of a way that how you have your opinions, and you actually sharing with people. So to me, I think if you're willing to share, this is a big takeaway for a lot of people. You know why? Because they were gaining the knowledge, they're gaining a lot of thoughts from you. True. Don't be shy, just take action and do it, be it in verbally that you saying it. If you're not comfortable, social media is actually, it's readily, and I embrace it so much. It's actually able to share so much of my thoughts, and I'm able to connect with you, even that you are in New Zealand right now. It's so easy.
It's amazing. But I think what you made a good point, but I think what I also feel from a media point of view, from all social media point of view, is like, it's a very good tool, but we got to use, everyone should start using it for better, for positives rather than negatives and all sorts of crap and conflicts and gossips. That's not what is social media for. It can be really good content, can be created out of it, can be really sent out a good message out of it. So and I think I really appreciate that you coming on this interview as well, and giving us this beautiful insight of a model's journey, but of a Mrs. Model's journey. But it's not just a model's journey, it's also a journey of a human who has come all along from a very, very different kind of a situation to, as you mentioned, I love the word darkest. So you had at one point, and everybody goes through that at one point on the darkest when they are into, but coming out of that and showing a light is more important than the darkest. So I'm not more worried about the darkest. I'm worried about I'm really happy that you shared how you change your journey, change your mindset, change your surroundings, and changed everything without any fear. And that's what I personally feel, that you became fearless to me in that regard. Because normally people would be very complacent, want to not change, want to do the same old thing, want to listen to others. But you, for once, did not listen. But your mom, you listened to your mom, but I guess your mom spotted, and it was a good resonation ultimately. So now we are almost coming to the end, but I wanted to still have got a few things that I wanted to ask you in terms of your journey. I saw that you want to inspire people. So what is Amanda's journey now from here on that you have achieved? Do you think it's enough, this title? Do you think this title is the ultimatum, or you think there is more to come? What's Amanda's more desires are?
I'm truly actually blessed and appreciate the title given, because I think it's the title that where it's a kind of recognitions that you have like certain achievement, but I don't think the achievement will be the everything in your life. It just that show you that you are, perhaps you have the criteria to be that. But if you ask me, how could I value add to bring it better?
Absolutely, this is what
to also perhaps to also to connect with the rest, to show them what this title could do better than that. Because a lot of people, they might thought that, beauty pageant is, after all, is about beauty. Yes, it's right. It's about, the beauty they have that. But what is the beauty behind that?
Correct.
It's
inside beauty.
Correct. You must have a lot of self-love. You must have a lot of actualizations, that you know yourself and you be certain with yourself. So with this title, it's just that it giving you, if you ask me, it's beside privilege. It's a responsibility that you have to play it well. You have to carry it well. And you also have to, again, to share with the rest. Because to me, this is not just me.
Yeah,
I'm representing every mother, sister, friend, and daughter. And perhaps, it's not limit just Malaysia.
Yes,
it's everyone. So I think every woman, that they're unique and they're beauty in themselves. So that is the reason why, for me, I think giving a title, you definitely have to identify that what are the things that we could actually do more. So to me, I like the diversity. I appreciate to see different people, and it's a different way how you do it. So that is the part that I hope that I would able to continue to value add, to actually, especially to reconnect with people, to show them what they can do, and to the society to give them the voice and any other thing. So because for me, if I come from such a humble beginning, that I could accomplish something, I'm sure anyone, if that have the courage in them, they were able to do it even better.
Absolutely, very well said. I think that's a good empowering statement you made about daughter, woman, mother, sister, and everybody. You want to represent that, you want to relate to that, and this is something very empowering and powerful, because it's not about title. It's about the first, as I always say, before identifying any label or title, you are a human. Now, whether you are a human, whatever gender you are a human.
Correct.
But when you said that, I really resonated 100%, that you are a daughter, you are a mother, you are a sister, you are a, all sorts of women that you represent, and and you stand for that. So this title, automatically, it's devoted to them as well, to all of these labels. But most importantly, how you can empower, how you can add value to these women who comes from different phases of their life, and different kind of situations and title holders of life. So that is really empowering, Amanda. I really appreciate that statement from you, that you want to add value, not as just a title holder, but as a woman, as a daughter, as a mother, as a sister. It's really empowering. I really appreciate this talk and this statement that you made. So finally, I wanted to ask you, so this is a great inspiration as well for all the audiences who are listening. If you would like to ask any questions, please feel free to that. And we will be bringing Amanda probably more and more to give and share her wisdom and knowledge that she have gained. So you all can be empowered. And yes, we can talk about the tips, that what she did to come up to this stage, to come up to this level. Little things matters. But something that I wanted to touch base, finally, Amanda, is we talked about inspiring, we talk about your life journey, that you changed frequently. from here also, you also mentioned just now that, yeah, title order, you're going to add value. Again, you're going to changing, lots of changes are going to come, lots of things are going to be taken care of. So do you think, how comfortable are you in terms of your mindset as an emotional well-being that we always look out for? That, no matter whatever situation comes, you had seen the darkest, excuse me, you have seen the darkest stage of your journey. Do you think now that once dark, that means you're so positive that any dark now comes, I'm going to overcome it? Is that confidence you get?
Yeah, I would say that just because of that experience given me, that
Mm,
I know at the right state of mind that
mm.
how I do not use the word overcome,
Yeah,
because it would take a lot to overcome it. It's not just by saying or just by a day.
absolutely.
It's actually
Absolutely.
you take a lot of strength,
Mm, mm,
wisdom,
mm,
patience,
mm.
and also a lot of I would say the you must have the self-love in you that you wanted to
Sure.
do it to overcome things. So
Right.
but if let's say this darkness is happening
Mm,
again, I would say that perhaps there were nothing. And I will tell myself, if
mm,
I did it once,
mm,
what is second time to me?
mm.
So when you have that, you will not, be afraid that, have that trauma that I think I do not want to take any leap of faith in
Mm,
life anymore to trying to do more things. Again, I will say no. I want to do it more.
mm.
The
Right.
more that you move forward, you're
Yeah.
only able to put your past behind, and you
Correct.
only realize in one day when you look back, it's
Mm.
just a very small thing in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, we live every single moment differently, and we have to live differently because circumstances change every time differently, and we adapt to that situation. We adapt to the circumstances. So obviously, the past is past. You cannot bring back the past, and you don't want to live in the past. It's not just bringing the past, but also you don't want to live in the past, nor you want to live in the future. I personally feel living in the moment is the only best moment to live, so that you can make the most out of this moment that you have, rather than worrying about the moment that has gone or worrying about the moment that hasn't come.
That's so right. That is really spot on. This is really spot on, seriously.
Yeah, so here you go. Amanda, beautiful, beautiful insights that you have given us today to me and to all the audiences who are listening. So once again, to all the listeners, this is Amanda for you, Mrs. Malaysia 2022. What more you could expect from a person who is not just beautiful, but also very good in brains because she educated herself. That's the key point she said. So everybody who is listening, educate yourself. That's the message. She is a strong advocate of education. So please educate yourself. The other thing is, take the boldest decisions, no matter whatever darkest situation you are in. I love the word go back to zero. So like when you set up an alarm clock, or when you reboot the computer, or when you
Yeah,
reboot the laptop. this is
correct.
something, this is something I take it from myself, that every time, each time, there is no harm in resetting. There is nothing wrong, unapologetic about anything. That's the best part of it, because our life is to explore. Our life is to take chances. And what Amanda has shown today is life is all about taking chances, not living in the past. Life is all about making the positive changes and mindset that you could do with yourself, and surround good people around you, and also take advice and guidance from whatever, wherever you want to achieve, whatever you need to achieve. And that's what she has done. So she has done all her deeds in the right, she has played all her cards rightly, I would say. And that's probably why. But I think rather than playing the cards rightly, it's not about the right or wrong, it's about playing the cards is more important. This is what
That's
I.
right. That is so right, actually.
So let's play the cards, and let's wish Amanda more and more success in the future, so I can bring her more and more, and I can brainstorm with her lots of her experience and wisdom that she has shared with us today. So I really thank you once again, Amanda. Amanda, please don't go. I have to share you something else. So I will just we'll finish this here, but then we will talk 5-10 minutes more. So once again, audiences, this is Amanda for you, Mrs. Malaysia 2022, directly from Malaysia, not from New Zealand. And this is what I want to end and see how the world is so connected, so easy it is now to go and reach any country and talk to any person in any country. So
Finally,
yeah, so that is my end message to all the audiences. Please give us your feedback. Please subscribe our channel. Please also ask any questions that you have, and we will try to answer, and we will try to bring lots of this kind of speakers who are very positive, who have achieved, but achieved with a strong positive mindset. So as I said, my NZ World News is a positive news. So I'm going to stress on that. So a few words from Amanda finally about my channel and about everything that she has done today, and then we will end here. Amanda, over to you. Final message for you.
I would say that for everyone who listened to, NZ World News, that it's actually Shailesh just putting a lot of efforts that reach out to me, that really appreciate the opportunity given. So whoever that listen out there, I just want you to know that believe in yourself, that everyone, we have a potential or perhaps some superpower in us that you have not discovered. So I'm actually here wearing this DIY shirt by Mrs. Malaysia Universe by during the finalists. I'm actually sold an extra pair of wings. So to remind myself that everyone, they do have a superpower or the hidden wings in them, so that you can or you determine what you want to do best for yourself, and you can be a giant in you. So that is very important. So I think that for Shailesh, that he's doing his work, it's really amazing that, sharing with people about, I would say that what you actually ask more, So by all means, if you need me anytime, anywhere, I will just come here and talk. So especially that I'm going to represent Malaysia in Bulgaria coming January 30th. So I'm sure whether before or after that, there will be even more sharing. So if you like his news or you would like to hear a bit more from me, we definitely will do it more.
Yeah, wishing you best of luck, Amanda. That's a great, powerful message, that uncover yourself, self-love yourself, but become self-awareness of and you have the power. She mentioned, we all have the power. We just have to identify that power. And so I think that's a great positive note. I'm going to end up here. And once again, thank you, Amanda, for your beautiful insights. And I want to end up once again stressing the point. This is my 3 words for you. Amanda equals bold, beautiful, and brain.
Thank you so much.
I'll end up here. Thanks very much.